Back from the break, and I'm once again going down the road of Counterpoint, and this is a bit three-part. My hi-hat is open and splashing, bringing both hands in unison. And then I move them around, but there's a third bit, my bass drum. Resolution point. Okay, so there you go. So you see what I'm doing is into the final segment of the show, just talking about really something simple in nature, okay? I'm just playing both hands together, like so. You see? And then what goes on is you've got anything on your left-hand side, whether it's a little set of rototoms, you know, that kind of thing. They're terrific. You can swing them and get different tunings from them. Vic Firth, the man who makes these drumsticks, he really took to the rototoms for the, what was his thing? The Boston Symphony Orchestra. He was the lead percussionist for so many years, so many decades. And when the rototoms were first developed, he really took to them because you could actually tune them to notes. So you'd have a row of them, usually in a row of three. You could have half a dozen or so, like I've got here. These are piccolo toms. But with the rototoms, you can swing them and get different notes, and they're reasonably priced. I love the sound of these piccolo toms, though. They have a tone all of their own. Pardon me. What's that F troop? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. But Counterpoint. So I've got these tuned to, pitches. And hopefully they're resonant, you know, so that's my tonic point there. Can you hear it finishes? There, thank you very much. Bum, ba, da, ba, bum, ba, da. So on. Do you see how it works? You know, that's what goes on. So I'm tending to, because of the kinds of pieces I'm playing or developing here, I'm tending to stay on this side of the piccolos. I haven't used these too much. These ones too much tonight, but I suppose I'll get there. Anyway, what am I doing? Let me summarise. Counterpoint is the term that we're talking about. Counterpoint is the art of putting two melodies together, okay? Johann Sebastian Bach is seen as the master of it, and it's moved on from there. I've talked about anything that's got a twin lead guitar attack. You know, there's counterpoint happening, whether you like it or not, you know, sort of thing. You could call it harmony guitar or whatever, but if they're going off in different places or playing against each other. So we're going into the world of classical guitar. You're talking about, you could talk about Metallica, of course. I mention them a lot because they're the classic twin lead guitar attack, I suppose. What happens is that you can also use it in other ways, and I'm using it for the drums, thank you very much. So what happens is that when I'm actually playing, I'm only taking counterpoint from a very simple premise of just both hands together. If I was to play 2 with the left, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 3 with the right, perhaps. 5. Do you see what goes on? There's lots of ideas. You could get really lost in it. And I haven't even split my hands up. I did a little thing on the last episode where I just simply talked about a single stroke roll. Same thing applies. bass drum. Double up. A section. Counterpoint right there. I kept the left hand on 2. I started doing other little things with the right hand. The basis point was my splashing hi-hat, and then a third counterpoint is my bass drum coming in at different points. Okay, so something like that. So that's counterpoint drumming, you see. I'm taking the premises. There's no reason why you can't think like a piano player on a drum kit. That's what Terry Bozzio says a lot, sort of thing. He doesn't see his biggest drum kit in the world any different than a piano. If you think about it, a piano has, let's say, 88 keys, okay? It has, depending on the piano that you have. But if you have a keyboard, usually 88 keys. So many octaves. I mean, imagine if I turned up with 88 drums, It's exactly the same as a piano, because each drum I tune to the note, a chromatic scale or whatever it might be. Of course, you'd call me the ultimate wanker if I did. People call me a wanker because I've got this, but I don't mind. It's all right. Water off a duck's back. So what happens is that I just have essentially a 5-piece kit right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with an extra high tom and an extra floor tom, that's not too off the planet. And funnily enough, I've seen heavy metal drummers with more cymbals than I've got, perhaps apart from the cymbal tree, because for metal drumming, you need a lot of accents and one cymbal continually getting played. Might be great for punk, but not so good when you want some different kinds of crashes. Stuff like that. Oh, I better finish it off. Willa! Willa, 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 willa! Rah! Wah! Wah! Willa, 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 willa! Angry, I'm very angry! Ah! Willa, willa! Okay, so let me compose myself, and there you go. I should really do a show on death metal, shouldn't I? It's some great drumming to be had. You have to feel like you have to be as fit as you have to be an athlete. That's what it is. Anyway, I hope you get something out of counterpoint drumming and stuff. What happens is that this kind of playing is a little bit advanced, but it's not such a far stretch. Djembe playing, some of the two-part African drumming bits and pieces and stuff.